of the process. We are still in the process. So there will continue to be survivors. There will continue to be heroes and heroines. It is the nature of the process that has changed. Today, we also have our modern day heroes and heroines. There are several people who were injured at Ayawasu because they stood for the right cause. There are people who resisted cheating in Techiman South. Some died, some were injured, but they are equally heroes.
Then all the Accra young leaders, please meet at the right-hand corner of the party office.
We have Honorable Kofi Abro, who is the chairman of the Annivrsary Committee. He is a member of parliament. He is a former member of parliament for Host Central. He served 3 terms. Nketia is also a senior leader, a dedicated leader who struggled with us in the trenches. And so no wonder that in 1993, Nketia is our respectable Deputy General Secretary, Honorable Barbara Sewa Asamoah. He was in the military and he played very key roles during the revolutionary era.
So if you grow them, they will be independent and stand on their feet and look after their families. Finally, I want should actually be an integral part of the party's this year. Because like I said, the cadres are the antecedents of this party. Without them, we don't have NDC.
Yeah. With a rousing applause, receive the chairman statement. Like I told you before we started, Chairman General Asiedu Nketia is also a leader. He's a serious leader from the scratch. And he went in the Semba area. So it is a revolution that brought him to the Consultative Assembly. That drafted the constitution that has been as peace and progress in this country. And we are going to learn that the cadres already true. So, Chairman General, welcome. And you are so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Always, I'd like to say how happy I always am when we have an occasion together as cadres to remind ourselves what we have gone through and then to teach the younger ones the sacrifices that have been made to grow the process up to this stage. I am one person who believes in history because I believe that if you do not take lessons from your history, you are bound to repeat all the bad things that your forefathers have gone through. So there has been always debate as to why we should continue celebrating events related to the revolution. I have stood firm that it is because of the health of our democracy that we we should continue to study what happened before the Fourth Republic, so that we can avoid the potholes that can take us back. So I always appeal to both those who are against the revolution and those who are for the revolution. It is equally in your interest that events of the revolution be commemorated so that we learn lessons which will take us forward. I have my own experiences of the events of June19, and not even that alone. There was even a much more serious one in September. I will leave to tell that story that day. But that September, I was caught in the crossfire. At some point, I was asked to put my hands up to the front. And I also survived. So I've listened to the stories by all the survivors and senior cadres. And my faith in the establishment of a party vision has been renewed. When you listen to the story that we are hearing today, you realize that they need to be recorded as early as possible before the eyewitnesses pass on to glory. So that we can keep these recordings and continue learning lessons from them. That was why on June 4th, I made an announcement that we are going to try to build a party vision so that we can keep all the records of the party before the actual formation of the party from June 4th up to today. And that is one of the things that will help us to groom younger cadres. Because whatever we do, we want to pass. So we have to pass these lessons to the younger ones. And as has been said earlier by earlier speakers, that the leadership is not in age, it's not in who was where at a certain particular time. It is a spirit that needs to be nurtured. And that is why we are also passionate about McCarthy School. There is always some rivalry about whether we should have young leaders different from the youth wing of the party and so on. I think that if you organize very well, you realize that there shouldn't be any such element at all. And also, don't think that we have come to the end of the process. We are still in the process. So there will continue to be survivors. There will continue to be heroes and heroines. It is the nature of the process that has changed. Today, we also have our modern day heroes and heroines. There are several people who were injured at Ayawasu because they stood for the right cause. There are people who resisted cheating in Techiman South. Some died, some were injured. but we are equally heroes in the process. So don't think that because you were not born at that time, you can also not be a hero of the process. Today, if you stand firm and defend Mother Ghana, defend NDC, you can also be. So, as has been said, I am engaged in another activity somewhere at the local government. We are now doing orientation for NDCs. That's why I have to speak first and leave for others to continue. And I want to remind, be that as it may, we need to be in a celebration and in subsequent years, we will direct that this event be commemorated in all our branches countrywide. We have also decided at FED which decision is yet to be presented to the National Executive Committee. And I know the signals I'm getting is that we have always had an advance that this building be renamed Agyeman-Rawlings. And then we have also decided to contribute to rehabilitate the Revolutionary Square. So I'm sure the UCF chairman has already kick-started a process. We are not very clear how to approach it, because there have been court rulings that June 4th cannot be celebrated on the public press. But we have maintained that June 4th is an NDC, and we will continue celebrating it from our own resources. So the Revolutionary Square, we need to engage the various authorities, maybe museums and monuments authority and other things, to give us permission to rehabilitate the Revolutionary Square and keep it in good shape, because it is part of our history. It is an important monument that reminds us about an important part of the history of Ghana and of our democracy. So I want to end here and wish you all. Okay, Alpia has reminded me about the welfare. 10 years ago, I proposed a Heroes Fund. We actually started. Somewhere along the line, we did not get the cooperation of the whole party, so the Heroes Fund fizzled into insignificance. What Alpia was saying reminds me about the objective of setting up the Heroes Fund. Because where we are now, if we are in government, it is difficult to deploy the resources of the state for the upkeep of our leaders. So we need to think outside the box to find out how else we can do it. And that was why we established the Heroes Fund. We did not enjoy the cooperation of everybody involved. But as the days and years pass by, the idea of the Heroes Fund, we can do so many things about who have struggled for the process, dealing with the children. I believe that of growing NDC. Because if you are growing a party, you can't force people to join the party. You can only make the party appealing. And if my father fought and died for a process, and because of that, the children, education and other things suffer. If you are living in the same community with other people whose father lived and took care of their education, and those group of children grow up and they ask them which party do they want to join, they will certainly not join. So it is our duty to make the party appealing. Our cadres, you are all living in the communities. Because I still believe that the various actors who have very important stories to tell, if we get these stories recorded, that will be one way of making them live even after they are dead. And then their children and great-grandchildren will be proud that their grandparents contributed something towards the development of this nation. So as Governor Nketia has also added their voice. When things settle, we will revisit the idea of the Hebrew family. Try and build it up for it to offer some welfare services of our colleagues who have suffered for this process. I thank you very much. Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
For our benefit. First of all, let me thank all of you for being part of the June month. This year has been very successful. We call names, but this is the time to tell our story, where we went from, where we are today, and where we are going. We are the party that when we are in government, everybody benefits. And today, we are empowered, and today, we have come to join. Let's give a legacy that tomorrow, our children will always say that this is the best party and this is the tradition I also want to join. So, it will come for us to mark this day. It will be our first. It will be.
So in Abuja, you have forgotten that he's a survivor of the Winchie threat. Yeah, so on this note,
Sorry to interrupt, but my mind was just brought to something. Whether by divine orchestration, this first anniversary that we are honoring for Rawlings fell on Sunday, and his birthday was also Sunday. So very significant. If you are a part of June 4th, you are a part of 10th, and you are here today, don't miss Sunday. Thank you very much.
the presenters. Thank you very much. Said Naomi, before I do the closing, we came out with the communique after our meeting. I'll read the communique.